So our vantage point here on planet Earth, we look out to see the sun has moved on and it's gone now into gateway number 14, the gateway I call prosperity, possession in great measure. And we're in the top right-hand corner of the wheel here. We're in the quarter of Samhain. And it's a kind of festive season for this time of the year, getting ready for the winter in the Northern Hemisphere, opening up, getting ready for the spring in the Southern Hemisphere. And the 14 is a gateway that's in the sacral center in the human design chart. And possession in great measure, prosperity, we can accord it to all kinds of different frames and time in human history. Demeter, the harvest, the cornucopia of things that are available to us. And the 14 itself, it has the three solid lines at the bottom, the heaven, the Qian energy, and then it has this solid, broken, solid line at the top, the fire. So the potential here is to get really excited about something, really intrigued with something, like playing in this dimension, this three-dimensional dimension of ours. And what is the source of wealth? What is the source of prosperity and abundance and overflow and everything that's available? And that's what happens when the sun goes into this 14th gateway. It just energizes this whole arena in our world. The personal life theme, we see the sun gone into the 14 there in the top right-hand corner, the earth in gateway number 8. Now, interestingly, both of these gateways are in what we call individual circuitry. So they're both about empowerment. And that means personal empowerment. So as the sun goes through this 14 and 8, sun in the 14, 8 in the earth, in the grounding of us, we have this whole arena of being really clear what it is that brings us benefit and growth and expansion and this sense of abundance and overflow in our life. On the unconscious side, this unconscious sun has gone into the gate 29. This is the gateway, well, it has many names to it. I say it the gateway of saying yes, that gateway of recognition, this is something that really draws my energy. And again, we're in the sacral center here. So we've got the 14 and the 29, both in the sacral center. And then the unconscious earth in gateway number 30, the gateway of the clinging fire, the gateway of desires. What are the experiences in life that really bring us that sense of fulfillment? And so this personal life theme I call transference, or it's also been called contagion, because it's like passing the torch. As something catches, it's like a bug, that's something really appeals to you and you say, wow, this has great benefit for me. This has something I just can't wait to put out into other people's lives, to empower them, to energize them, right? To see this is something they can also contribute to, and to see that it'll bring them worthwhile experiences. Now, before we go any further, just to relate that the 14th gateway, this gateway of prosperity, has a very interesting feature about it. If you look at the first line of the 14 hexagram, it basically says something like, that phrase, you love what you do, the money will follow. And it's almost to say that the 14 gives that sense of you enjoy doing something so much that it resonates so deeply with you, gives you that whole sense of prosperity and abundance that you do it for free. And then, there's a little bit of a trap, because of course it's fine to do things for free. And the other side of it is to see, though, I've got to make a living with this. I've got to be able to engage with this in such a way. But the balance there is that you just have such a connection with something, that there really is this thing that I'll do it whatever. And then of course you make the planning for how the income is going to come as well. So personal, with this life theme of transference, they are the torch bearers. They pass the flame. They energize other people. They find something that's so worthwhile, they can't wait to hand it off to somebody else, in the sense of recognizing this is really going to empower them. And, that's the basis of it. And the 8 on the other side, this gate of bringing people together to cooperate, that many hands make light work, and people on board with the same thing, and all kinds of things can prosper and grow. So the sun then moves on into the 4th line. And the 14 with the 4th line, I call it the line of security. And it's basically recognizing what it is in life that really brings us benefit. That as long as that we have that connection to something that brings us benefit in life, we'll do anything about it, anything for it. The conscious earth is still in gateway number 8, and this gateway more and more drawing people in. And the 4th line is very influential. You've got to see what I've got here. You've got to see what's possible here. And again, this is the slide theme we call prosperity. That prosperity, you can feel prosperous with $1, with $1 million. It's just that inner sensation that you're connected into life in a way that really brings you that sense of growth and benefit. Now, on the unconscious side, the unconscious sun has slipped into gateway number 59, this gateway of intimacy, this gateway also in the sacral center of putting out energy that's, come on, let's connect here. It's a scattering of seeds in a way. This thing of, if I put out all this possibility, who's going to catch on to it? Who's going to recognize that prosperity is here in my hands as something I'm offering here? And on the unconscious earth side, we got the 55, which is the gateway of spirit, the gateway of abundance, right? So again, we can see abundance, and the 14, the prosperity, and the possession in great measure. There's a lot of energy in here to convey the sense of prosperity to other people. However, there's a balance between the 59 and the 55. The 59, we will say, is very sacral. It's very energized from the sex center. It wants to scatter seed in a right direction. It wants to make things grow and create. And the 55 is more the kind of sacral, so the sacred. So we have this balance between the sacral and the sacred. So people with this life theme, they have to be really, really clear what it is that's really important for them, what it is that's really central to their own life in terms of prosperity. Then they're in this position to be able to offer this sensation, or literally convey the sense of, you just touch in these 4 areas in life and prosperity is yours. So it's a very, very particular thing. 14, again, possession in great measure, that whole thing of prosperity and wealth. The 8, this working together, getting on the same page, contributing efforts. The 59, this gate of scattering seeds to see where it lands and what's going to happen with it. And the 55, this sense of abundance, we can really make things grow extraordinarily. So we're passing through this particular phase in time as the sun goes through this particular quadrant of the sky. And then it goes into the 14 with the 5th and 6th lines. And we have this interpersonal life theme of uncertainty, right? Well, life is uncertain, but people with this particular life theme, they find the means to be able to assist or guide people towards recognizing how to deal with uncertainty, how to embrace it in a way that brings them great benefit. So the 14 with the 5th line, literally people with this line, they find themselves very competent and capable administering funds. They may have learning curves where they lose a lot of money, where they have to recognize, okay, I'm not going to do that again. And then they become very wise about how to accrue their wealth. The 8 on the other side knows how to kind of guide people and teach people with the 5th line. And with the 6th line, it just has that overall view of seeing who can contribute here and how to encourage them, right, in the best possible way. The 59 now moving on through these first 3 lines, and it's seeing, where are the connections really happening. 59 is always looking for environments where there's good chemistry, so that the scattering of the seed, it lands in a fertile spot so that the things can grow there. And the 55 looking to see, where does this abundance really reside and how to encourage it in people. So people with this particular life theme, they're very much involved with the material world on a general terms, that they have a means to really make worthwhile for themselves their whole arena of prosperity. They can just draw that wealth to them, and they do it in a way by just putting out the vibe that they know what the secret to this whole thing of drawing prosperity to them is, and that they can also convey this sense into other people's lives. So people with this interpersonal life theme include Satya Sai Baba, the man that was a guru in India that basically could magic things out of the air, manifest things out of the air, was very famous for producing watches and vibhuti and things like that. Goldie Hawn, this actress that just kind of leaves you spellbound sometimes, like how did she pull that off? Troy Aikman, you may be familiar, this amazing American football player. just somehow or other was just so encouraging for his team and for the people that played with him, that they would just see, yeah, we're in a dark spot, we're in a difficult situation here. And sure enough, he just threads the needle and there it goes, the next round of touchdowns. And Björk, this extraordinary performer from Iceland, who just touched the hearts of so many people, living life in a very, very different way and just saying, yes, it's fine to be outrageous. It's fine to be whoever you are, just be encouraged to do that. So people I didn't mention with the personal life theme, this one of contagion or transference, where they want to pass the baton into other people's lives through how they live themselves. Jodie Foster, right, this truly extraordinary actress. Meg Ryan, again, how does she manage that thing of just conveying the sense of what it is to be human and, living life in a full way in that regard. Nassim Haramein, this really, truly amazing man who just explores all the facets of the universe, explores sacred geometry and all these really wonderful things, the mysteries of life. And one of my absolute favorite actors, Danny DeVito, how does he do it? He's just bubbling over with fun and, conveys that sense of fun into everybody else's life. The 192 life themes are written up in this book of destinies. Your life theme is in there. In a sense, we can say this book is about the story of humanity, everything that's being played out in the world and the different facets and the things that are really drawing us to play out here. And part of the Human Design Trilogy, you can get your free report with that QR code on the left there. And the trilogy, you can get access to the trilogy on the right there. Evolutionary Human Design, feel free to engage. Have a look, see what we've got going on. All kinds of fascinating things. Okay, there we are for now. We'll see you next time.